Hello coloring friends, so another week has gone and now it's time to see the results of our weekly challenge Find and Color. And for the last weeks we've got prompt, desserts and sweets. It's a very nice prompt, very tasty. But as much as I like eating those stuff, I don't like coloring desserts or sweets or any food. But there was no choice. I had to color something. But from those illustrations that I chose when I showed on video last week, I didn't feel like coloring any of that illustration. Then I checked my PDF files on computer and I found two illustrations that were not printed but which I felt like coloring, and so I printed them and colored. They're rather simple, but it was fun coloring. And the first one is this one, not typically my style of illustration. Usually I don't like coloring such big eyes girls, but this one by Leslie Mel, and somehow I was attracted to her style of drawing these big-eyed girls, and I've got a set for myself. And there was this Marie Antoinette, I believe, and I like it. I like this style of drawing cakes or muffins, and I decided to color it after all. And it was fun, it's easy illustration, and that's what I've got. I used Ama's gel crayons for the background. Then I used markers, a little bit of color pencils, and I use stickles. I've got stickles maybe 1 month ago and still had no chance to use them somewhere, and finally I decided I will use them on this illustration. And stickles are very sparkly. Even in daylight you can see some sparkle, but under artificial light, I will show you, of course it sparkles much more. And I like these black stickles. I use it on this writing, Cake Saves the Day. Also I used on flowers on her dress and on her necklace, and here on flowers too. Yeah, looks very pretty. Really love it. And here I used, on the whole picture I used this like dessert colors. You can say pink, purple, blue, and the next illustration is of different type, more like my style. This is from Brightness coloring book by Crayoniverse. Dessert is quite small on this picture, but that's what I wanted. And I liked to color this girl. It's very summery illustration. You can see a sea, beach, blue skies, and this girl in a very summery outfit. Here I used color pencils, little bit of white gel pen to cover black lines on the ice cream, and that's it, I think. Very easy but enjoyable coloring, and it looks lovely. I'm happy. So these were my desserts for this prompt. And now about your works. I've got record amount of submitted works. It's our 12th, I believe, week of challenge, and this is a record. I've got around 50 works submitted, and I could see from some illustrations that people really enjoyed coloring the Zords. You can see love on those illustrations. They look so realistic, so yummy. And of course it was pleasure for me to work with all those illustrations, to download them, to prepare for the video, and it was very tasty. And okay, now let's enjoy it together. So these were our gallery of the Zords with illustrations. Thank you everyone who submitted their works. So many tasty things that would be enough to fill in a bakery. And now it's time to choose another prompt for the upcoming week. For this I'm taking my magical box and let's find out. So we've got bat. It's a little bit of Halloweenish prompt, I would say, because especially in coloring books, when you think about bats, you imagine something horror style illustrations or Halloween style, like witches, pumpkins, and of course bats around. But maybe there are some illustrations with like realistic looking bats, about nature, animals. I don't know. I will have to look through my coloring book and hope I will find something not Halloweenish. But if not, no problem. There is like Christmas in July and we'll have Halloween in July. And I think it's going to be fun. So now I'm off to look for some illustrations for this prompt. See you later. So I'm back. As it turned out, I don't have that many illustrations with bats, maybe because I'm not a big fan of Halloween themed illustrations or coloring books, but nevertheless there is more than enough to choose from. And surprisingly, there are very beautiful illustrations among these pictures, so I have quite a choice. And there's maybe only 2 illustrations like typically Halloweenish. Others are rather different. And the first book is Nocturnes by Anastasia Eli Kolderova, and we have 2 illustrations with bats here. One is this one, and both are very beautiful, as always in Anastasia illustrations. And the second is this one. Beautiful girl with full moon on the background and a lot of bats. Then how could I forget Kirby Rosanes, of course, Fragile World, his newest book, which is still untouched in my collection. And we have a very realistic bat, which requires realistic coloring, and I don't know how to color bats realistically, but of course I can Google some photos of this bat and try to copy that. We'll see. A good chance to start this coloring book. And then Mythomorphia. There is one big double spread with a lot of bats, but of smallish size, and the main character here is this werewolf. I have one illustration, Christmas illustration with bats. It's The Beauty of Horror, Ghost of Christmas, Alan Robert. Very simple illustration and small in size, so it will not require much time to finish. Another of my untouched coloring books, Coloring Heaven, Creatures of the Night, illustrations by Sarah Richter. And there is 2 illustrations. This one is very cute, very pretty. I really like this one. And the second one is rather simple. This one, Bat's Moon. Simple but lovely, I would say. Not scary looking. Christian Caron. This one is like what I call typical Halloween illustration. We have witch here, pumpkin, cat and bats and full moon, but it's lovely. Another this one I would call Halloweenish picture too, looking rather scary but beautiful at the same time. It's Matt Davidson. I think it's a vampire girl. Then another girl with rather cute bat. It's by Ryan. And this one is a rather simple one, but sometimes I like to color something like this. It's by Shallow Doe. It's called Witchy Sisters. So as you can see, there is a lot of beautiful illustrations with bats that I actually didn't expect. So it's something to choose from. I'm excited, and I hope you will manage to find something interesting for you for this prompt to take part in this challenge again. And that was all for today. Thank you for staying with me. Bye.